Emrall. This is a chi healer, aka Archangel Raphael, as well as other known deities such as Buddha, Krishna, Shiva. This is terrible right now. It's unfinished and it's all in my face. And Muhammad, as well as other known deities, and as well as usual, I'm here to carry out God's will, authority, purity, and essence. I don't know where the fucking thing that was holding on my hair is. 1 second. Shit, just fell off. I don't see it nowhere, so I'm just gonna carry on with the video as is, and my eyes may be blocked out because I still got all of this back part to finish anyways, so I kind of just started this when I wanted to. But anyways, yeah, so this video is gonna be about taking priority of that which is bringing you right into the center point focus of your life purpose, and what that even means and how to do that, of course. So I don't want to be so quick to think that I need to do something so fast and say something so fast, because a lot of times that's how confusion about your purposes comes to begin with, because you kind of push yourself out the way to get to your purpose, which, how are you going to push who you are and what you do right out the way to get to something that you know what I'm saying? So that's backwards, right? So what we in together want to do is to collectively decide that there's other beings that have done what we wanted, and aim to do before us already. Because that's just looking at yourself and seeing who you relate with and what you relate with, and the connections that you'll make through the spiritual realm manifesting into the physical. It'll automatically just be someone, artist or whatever you hear, see, you know what I'm saying, like you resonate with, and it'll be exactly what you're aiming to do. But it's almost as if your specificness of what you're here to do can only show itself when you're truly moving into your freedom of expression, freedom of receiving, all of the thoughts that you want to receive that'll actually promote and benefit growth in the direction of where you're heading in the first place. Because the only way to actually know where you're heading is to do the moving. Like when I talk about moving, I'm really talking about not just broadly proclaiming things as in manifestation, but movement is sort of just you flying and being free and just reaching out to anything and everything. It's kind of like that saying where they say, like, oh yeah, this is a person that will kind of just grab onto anything and everything in order to get to where they're trying to go. But that's not necessarily wrong. You understand and feel me there? Because you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to follow through with your feelings in order to heal yourself. Because you can't get out of something in which you need to look at and you need to digest and you need to pay attention to, even. Because the thing that you give your attention to, give a singular attention to, should only be within yourself. Because if you're giving tensions, all of your attention, your singular point of focus outwardly, how are you ever going to get to your purpose? So that's step one, is make sure that you're moving within yourself. You're moving inside to the right places, that you feel is right, by actually giving a little bit of attention, giving your singular attention to that which is you, to that which is right inside. It will actually take you to where you are. So not necessarily where you're trying to go either. Right where you are, what you feel right now, that is of importance. So also, I'm gonna move into the fluidly in the two, which is don't try to force healing. Don't try to force anything. Don't try to, because the force is within us all, but when you try to force things, that's not tapping into the force, because the force is really just life force. Or, if you was to even say life force, the force is really just your essence, God's essence. So part of me carrying out God's essence is me not just showing everyone what I do, but it's more of me just being comfortable with who I am, what I'm capable of, what I'm incapable of, and it turns out when I'm the most relaxed and comfortable with all of the parts of me, and I'm able to come on the video and do my thing, it just so happens that every other part of my purpose comes into fruition. All of my gifts and my talents just turn on, and just, I don't even want to say I go haywire, but I go, sky higher. I just keep going and keep going and it's just, there's no fear in love. So when you choose everything down to the thing that you're putting in your body, if it's based off of love, you're most likely gonna generate more of that. But if you're putting death in your body, then you're gonna generate more of that too. So at the end of the day, it is all about your spirituality. You can't necessarily look at it like that either, but you most certainly have to acknowledge the truth. And the truth of the matter is, if you love yourself, you've probably been an animal before. You've been in different bodies. So how is it that you just so solemnly and freely just go around not thinking twice before taking a life? And yeah, plants are living too, but in an entirely different. I need you to think about it for a second. When you take the kale off the stem of the kale, I'm really gonna do my research, of course, to elaborate, but you're not killing the plant of the kale. It's gonna continue to produce more kale, just as lots of other plants, and fruits. So it's not like that. Because I know that's a thing I've heard that is just really ignorant. Because how are you so out of tune with your feelings to the point where you're gonna suppress what you feel in your heart with nicotine and cigarettes and drugs and whatever else you can get your hands on? Because at the end of the day, who told you that choosing a life promoting decision in yourself is gonna somehow put you in a demonic category, or put you in a place where you're a lesser being or you're less intelligent? That doesn't even make sense. And the only reason I feel like I have to address that is because it's just a demonic way of looking at things that'll that just makes no sense for lots of humankind. And I'm just the same, so I don't want to again go there again. I don't want to keep going there where I'm just looking at y'all as separation or something. Even saying y'all feels wrong, because why the hell do I feel like I'm not part of y'all? Yeah. But you should be expanding, though. You shouldn't just call yourself human, and you shouldn't necessarily say you're not human either, because why are you even on this planet amongst mankind? So I'm hitting a lot of points, I know, but the whole point of me doing these videos is to share my energy and spiritually be in the place with y'all where, again, sorry, I need to correct myself, right? Be in a place where I could really just continue to elaborate and expand on all the points that are God has laid in front of my very heart to move into every second and ounce of the day. This is what I'm here to really do. Just like other, spiritual beings that are also here that you're witnessing, doing their life purpose. But of course, the way that I do it has me focusing on the music art, the expression, the creation of the beats, per second necessarily, the beats in the heart that allow me to express where my heart's at into sound, into something that, okay, so there's lots of technologies that have already been created through mankind to allow us to collectively reach that space of creation that we're able to express ourselves. And that's beautiful, because why else would I be summoned in a time like this where we're so advanced collectively? So to begin with, the creation of these technologies have to do with life. And while yes, you could say that you could get to the same place had you not been in the space that I am, because you already have, but there's so many things that are unknown to mankind, simply because most of mankind relies on consuming death, and it's just a very sickly appetite and sick nature that, yes, while you do have technologies available to you because you harness nature's abilities that God has gifted you with, but at the end of the day, you gotta look at it on a broader realm of reality. How many things and technologies are you unaware of that many beings before you and that will come after you have already and will create? And part of being in this solar system, in this universe, is looking at yourself as in, yes, I am a singular being amongst the whole of other beings, but omniversal isn't necessarily being one side and the other. Omniversal has to deal with, I like the word omniscient, because the definition of it kind of really describes what omni is actually pointing to, rather than like the dietary way of looking at it, which is omnivorous. To think that is something that is pointing to what omni is, it's not. And I think I want to really exaggerate that, because it's not. You can't just say that evil and good are one, because yes, they're opposites, but we're not talking about evil and good. We're talking about dark and light. We're talking about spiritual forces. I don't know how that has anything to relate with evil and good, because evil and good is evil and good are not even opposites, you know what I'm saying. So evil doesn't even exist in the opposition towards good, because good is just you trusting your heart, and evil would be to kind of diminish what you feel and to really put it down, even put yourself down, put yourself in a place where you're not able to feel yourself anymore, able to feel your heart and what you actually know is right, intuitively and even logically looking at things inside and around you. So yeah, I kind of just started doing my thing with my hair, but as you can see, I got a whole backside that I haven't done. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue doing the thing I'm doing, but I don't know. I think I'm reaching the end point of the video, but not necessarily just yet. I'm gonna keep going because I think there's, or yeah, no, I don't really think too much either. So I really do feel like I kind of addressed a lot of the things that I needed to address in this video. Titling this shit, most likely gonna be most likely gonna be why your nature is to be good. Because evil isn't in opposition. Evil has nothing to do with because I would really say this. If you was to look at an opposition, the polar opposite that would balance good, it would be bad. But bad and evil are not the same. Okay. Because this is how I'm gonna break it down. Bad, where Michael Jackson got bad right, a lot of people followed through, but Michael Jackson wasn't necessarily truly committed to going his own way until, I think, if I'm not mistaken, he met Dr. Sebi, that herbalist that saved a lot of people's lives before he died. If I'm not mistaken, I hope to be corrected on that. I might even do my research on that specifically. But yeah, bad is just you going in your own direction, counterintuitive to what people believe or think you should be doing or want you to be doing. That's what bad is. So and that's the opposition to good, which is good is kind of just trusting, having faith that God is working through the right vessels, but too much of that will lead you to rely on and trust demons when they're dead wrong. So when you do that, you'll make mistakes and errors and take yourself down a whole pitfall of shit you don't want to go through. Like really genuine, like straight up, like you don't want to go through it. And I've been there because I just needed to go through that apparently in order to share something. And in my energy field, the reality that will allow me to express certain knowledges that mankind is kind of wrapped up in. And I think the specificness in my purpose has to deal with that, because I'm here to kind of, as I elaborated earlier in my video, which I'm not going to go over again. You can watch my last video because I did elaborate on that. But yes, this is the title of the video. Your purpose. Your purpose is good, okay? Because your purpose will keep you aligned with exactly what you need to do, creating your own job, creating your own vision, and manifesting everything that you dream of, and attaining your desires and aligning them with good, as I have shown and I also spoke on an earlier video as well. Probably like 1 or 2 videos down, you see that. I spoke on that, but yeah. I so happened to motherfucker tangle these two. They were supposed to be separate. But since that's already done, I'm just gonna leave that like that. Come back to it. But yeah, how you radically step into your purpose and what you're here to do and what you're here to create and how you're here to create it is you knowing that you already know what it is. And also on, you know, today's video I did earlier, I did speak on that as well. Um, that you intuitively already have a soul contract with God, that you know, because you're within God, that you have done to come in to this life in the way that you came, you know, the people, places, and things, situations, and scenarios you chose around you to even kind of go through, you know, similar lines of events that you kind of agreed upon to get and to master uh, the certain position that, you know, you within God have chosen. So I don't want you or anyone to necessarily feel like it's it's something that you agreed upon that you can't go back on, that you can't change your mind on, because as Dr. Change and change being the only universal constant, I'm here to show you that you hold within you what you're able to create. So what you agreed upon isn't not necessarily not any rules and regulations. You agreed on you agreed on energy fields to tap into. See, the lighting changed when I did that. And that's how you know. But which that's just, you know, spiritual based. That's just you knowing how to feel intuitively what you love and hold dear to yourself and what you truly value and why you value those things, which have really nothing to do with worldly elements, because worldly elements are tied to a lot of material dense creations that ultimately have come from this etheric place. Because I'm getting ready to do like a whole month fast, so I'm kind of just, you know, really enjoying all of the creations that I have manifested, that are life promoting and giving elements. So rather than even dive a little bit deeper in that, it's all about the energy that you had that will lead to the creation of the miraculous and great things that you already hold within you. So as soon as you align yourself within what you love and know to be righteous and healing and love, that's and you put the gas on that, rather than put gas on the death, you put gas on what you love, and that will light it up. You know, it's like you burning the sage to clear your aura. It's like you're lighting up. You're lighting up all of the healing. You're lighting up all of the growth. You're lighting up all of everything that you are that makes up something more to step into ascending, and something more to step into fearlessly, something more to step into just absorbing and fully accepting all of the beingness that you are, which also has to do with self-love. It's all tied together, you know. So that's a part of love. Yourself. Duh. And yeah, energy isn't I'm getting this download right now to express. Energy isn't anything that is tied to you thinking things are going right in your life when they're not. Because you feel something that you want, but you have to be in that space of unconditional love, even to the point of looking yourself in the mirror and seeing if you're actually living that. What I mean by that is, to elaborate on that, when you look in the mirror and think of unconditional love, are all of your actions, everything you consume, is it based on unconditional love, or is it based on survival, which is based on fear? Because when you think about survival, even the word survival, the definition of survival, it kind of has to deal with and makes you think that you have chances of not making it when you've already made it. You let go of your body and assemble the truth, and demons naturally don't even oppose the truth. Just demonic energy that you're tied to will allow you to put blockers on yourself to where you can't even receive it. So there's nothing to really oppose, but you know what I'm talking about? Like, because once you know the truth and you're really living by it, lots of demon gateways open up for people who are trying to do this work and change and make this shift to their actions, but they're still holding on to the thing that is keeping them in that demonic field of reality, and they're trying to do the angelic thing. And then naturally we have lots of angels who are so wrapped wrapped around and tied into these demonic fields of reality that it's hard for them to even detach and let go of that other action that is promoting that survival mechanism, which is based on fear. So everyone's got to do work on all ends. You can't sit here and be in your demonic energies, aiming to be an angel, and still doing the very nature of your beingness is wrapped up in demonic energies, and you're trying to do good, and it's clearly evident. And you can't necessarily be an angel fully until you step into your heart. And when you step into your heart, I need you to think of me. I'm at that point where I really gotta express that, because I am the heart chakra of this being that we're living in, because I incarnated as that. So I am the heart center. I am the 4 that's ascending up and I move down into 6, the awareness, to really show everyone that detachment and true love is possible. True self-love and detachment from the physical is possible, and it will absolutely lead you straight into everything that you wanted. And you gotta not necessarily time it right, but you gotta I like to say things simply, but I also want people to actually look at things for what they actually are as well, in reality, because timing is imaginative, but when you just feel something to be okay, now I want to do this, you're not that feeling to do it. It's there for a reason, and you might even set a goal, which I've received through a godly vessel, that you don't wanna necessarily set goals that way. You don't want to set time limits on goals. You don't want to put a goal down that you know what I'm talking about. So, because that kind of is counterintuitive, it's battling your intuition, which you might need to do that to assemble some sort of travels you need to go to not logically be able to interpret that which you actually set out to do, and why you should continue to do that, and expand on that, and to help others expand on that. So that may be a travel you need to go through, like I expressed to y'all that you excuse me, that I have, right? But in order to actually get to where you want, you have to know where you're at karmically as well, where you stand karmically, and why that karmic event that you had to go through was that in itself, of what it was. Nothing more, nothing less. And and then you can't be bitter about it, because you have to look onto yourself and what you did. So the better you do as a true angel, the better life circumstances and situations you will undoubtedly create and manifest for yourself, without a doubt. Okay? That's real. And reality is based on truth. Nothing more, nothing less. Truth is created, but truth is also received. So, because you can't have truth without the imagination that got you to the truth. That's equally as true. Yeah, I think I'm basically done with this video. not that there's anything to be done with so soon, but I'm pretty much wrapping it up and coming to a closure, because I really walked you through a lot of things that I was expressing, but I was also walking you through simultaneously the energy that I could feel, the reality that I'm in, and I'm also walking you through the spirituality taking place in the present moment, that's allowing me to express what I'm expressing in the way that I am, and allowing me to deliver the knowledge and the wisdom that is based upon below the belt, below the surface, actually, diving in deep to the reality of things. Shout out to another angelic being within these waters. I don't know what angel you are, but when you disclose that, I'll make sure to say your name. Ralph Smart. I know your name, so yeah. Yeah, there's so many ways to get to the place you're aiming to get to. And especially when it feels right and you know it's right, there's no reason to doubt it, because that would be to doubt yourself. And to doubt yourself is to doubt God. So whatever you created through yourself, you're going to have to, karmically resonate with in order to get the lesson and the healing out of it. For just as long as you need to. Your purpose is exactly where you are. It's not somewhere you have to get to, though you will have to pull up some imaginational fields of realities to really bring yourself out of contortions that permeate ignorance and disillusionment, because the illusion is part of the enlightenment. The illusion is the one thing that you create through your imagination that leads to the actual reality of things. So that's why a lot of people look at magicians as something as liars, which is not true at all. Magicians are some of the best alchemists out there. A wizard is naturally a magician. A witch is naturally a magician. That's what we are in nature. Not to say that it's anything more or less than just that. So yeah, going back to elaborate on that though, you of course I did speak on it in my video earlier today. You can go check that out. This whole contract and why you chose a certain people, places, things, and events to align with your life purpose and path you need to walk down, and how it's there to assist you rather than get in the way, on an energetic and spiritual level, right? Gotta look at everything esoterically. If you're really focusing and looking through reality and receiving the right things you need to receive in order to push through, and I mean all the way through. You can't just stop halfway. You gotta go all the way through. And that's the only way you're gonna get to where you need to get to. Can't half-ass it either. Anyway, well, to half-ass is to not go in as deeply as you could when you had the chance. So, with that said, I know for a fact you watching this are just like me. And I know for a fact you're gonna get undoubtedly to exactly where you need to go to. I know for a fact that you're sensitive to this information, so you're gonna be sensitive to yourself and your feelings, and you're gonna step into the right place where you need to go. I know that for a fact. I know for a fact you are who you say you are, because if it's angelic, undoubtedly, if no other being has claimed it before you, and you're here to be that, then you're that. But also, it's equally as true that you're aiming to get to that place. Especially if you're working with me. A lot of times you're gonna find that I'm gonna help you get to that place, because the whole angelic force is on board with my being, and to get to this place of knowingness, and I have to be forever expansive. I can't just sit on things, and I can't just drive myself into a brick wall. Walk myself off a cliff, or drive myself into a brick wall, or fly myself into a building. Which, 9/10 is to step on the mountain. Anyways, I'm gonna finish out this video by saying peace, love, and alignment. Be well, be more thou. And I just want you to know that you're valued by God because you're valued by yourself. I just felt that was important to express right there and say, as I received it. So yeah, you're the truth.